Hey, what is going on, everybody? It's YunKs. Today, I'll be showing you guys Red Spectre. This is an auto rifle that I got as an endgame Crucible drop. Anyway, let's just quickly go over the perks on this thing. So for the sites I run, red.ors, we have Rodeo, reduces the severity of this weapon's recoil. In the middle, we have Fitted Stock, increased weapon stability, Handlaid Stock, increased stability, reduced range, and armor piercing rounds. Alright, so I go with Fitted Stock for that little extra stability. Handlaid Stock isn't a bad choice for stability, but I don't want that reduction to range. Moving on to Army of One, quick unassisted kills with this weapon, reduced grenade and melee cooldown, so I would say pretty okay perks on this auto rifle. Anyway, before we get into it, I do want to mention this is an in-between auto, very similar to a Monte Carlo or Zalo Supercell. Doesn't have the highest rate of fire or the lowest, doesn't have the highest impact or the lowest. Anyway, let's take a look at the aesthetics. Alright, looks pretty similar to a Red Death, wouldn't you say? Anyway, let's just get right into the gameplay. So, Red Spectre versus the Ultra Knife for the DPS test. It took me 87 shots to put him down, having to reload twice, each reload clocking in at about 2 seconds long, each headshot dealing 379 damage, and it took me 12.9 seconds to kill him. Alright, we're moving right along into PvP, and Red Spectre will deal 20 damage to the head and 16 damage to the body, but of course this does depend on what range you're at. If you're too far away, you will definitely not get these numbers. This is an auto rifle, and it is not meant for long range combat. I would say at a medium-ish distance, you will start to see a damage drop off on this thing. Anyway, it'll take 10 shots to put somebody down if all your shots are headshots, maybe 11 if they have higher armor, or it'll take 13 shots to put somebody down if all your shots are body shots. What is the time to kill on Red Spectre? Well, let's say it takes 10 shots to put down your enemy. It'll take 0.9 seconds. So definitely not a bad number right there. This auto rifle does have the potential to shred through enemies, of course, as long as you're landing your headshots. So because of this, I would always recommend stability. Of course, whenever you get a Red Spectre, you're going to have random perks on it, but if you could land one with some sort of stability on it, I think you should be okay. But remember, these are just all my personal recommendations. Not everybody may like stability on their auto rifles, but I feel like I really need it. Red Spectre has a pretty high rate of fire, which means it has a fair amount of bounce to it, so any stability will do me good and certainly help me out with landing my headshots. Of course, you can get a Red Spectre without stability perks and still be an absolute monster with it. And like I mentioned earlier, this thing really does have the potential to shred through enemies depending on your accuracy, depending on your playstyle. If you know when to use Red Spectre and when not to use it, depending on the range of the enemy. Obviously, you're not going to want to try to fight somebody across the map because it's not going to work out too well for you. But in the closer to medium range encounters, this is where this thing really does shine. So while using Red Spectre, try and place yourself in the correct positions throughout the map in order to get the most effectiveness and the most efficiency out of this weapon. For example, stay in a tight room, but don't stand right next to the doorway. Give yourself some space just in case an enemy wants to come through with a shotgun and rush you. You will have enough time and room to put him down with this auto rifle before they could reach you. Always switch up positions, be unpredictable, and you should have a good time. Anyway, guys, go ahead, leave in the comments. Let me know, do you have a Red Spectre? And if you do, what do you think of it and what perks are on yours? Overall, I actually had a great time with this auto rifle. This archetype has certainly grown on me a little bit more, and I was having a blast with this thing. I found myself getting a bunch of kill streaks in the Crucible. I definitely didn't have a problem putting down enemies, of course, as long as I was in the right ranges and the right situations. And it didn't take me long whatsoever to get my footage. It just came very, very smoothly. Anyway, that's pretty much going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like on the video if you enjoyed the video. And go ahead and leave a sub if you haven't already if you want to see more weapon reviews similar to this one. I'm always covering weapons here in Destiny. Anyway, guys, I will see you next time.